Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. We are headed into the Season 3 Stage 1 Shimada Clan Finals between Lotus and United Moose. Will the blossom bloom for Lotus tonight, or will the Mooses truly be united against the force that is Lotus? We're about ready to find out as we head into our first match of the evening, which I believe is going to be Busan. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Crispin on the color and Cybercat on the production role. Crispin, how you doing tonight?
I'm having a great day. I played a bunch of Overwatch to prepare my mind before this, and I'm ready to dive in for an exciting finals match.
Well, that is good to hear. I've been spending most of my day casting a whole bunch of Overwatch, so I hope my voice just doesn't end up dying in the middle of all this. But I think I've got my second win ready to go, and once the teams are set to go as well, we'll go ahead and make our way in there. Looking in the chat, it looks like Jag the Nerd truly living up to that name and just like filling up the chat right there. Not for certain what the Go Monarch is for, because
Not in
Monarch's
this
not here,
match.
buddy. I don't know what you're going for there. I mean, you corrected yourself, but I still gotta give you a little bit for that. But if you love what we do here at OCCS, be sure to Oh, yes, we do have to do starting lineups. That's right. Be sure to hit that heart and punch that bell so you get notified every time we're online. You could also hit that sub button, $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription. We'll give you access to some amazing emotes as well as support our incredible community. So let's go ahead and start up with our lineups for this evening on Team Lotus. We have Uni and Kazime coming in on the DPS, Sub-Hero and Mateus coming in on the tanks, and Silber and Michael G coming in on the support. So what do we see for the side of United Moose there, Crispin?
United Moose is coming out with Flame Okami and Nat on the DPS roles. Okemi and PM Doggy-O are going to be tanking, and Tiger Lily, Chibi Kitty playing out the support roles for us to start.
All right, so it looks like we are good and ready to go. Let's get this show started as we head to Busan!
Now traveling to Busan.
You know, because that's how they do it with sports. They're just, I don't know where they get their energy over there on the west side of the world, but I need me some of that.
That's also how you lose your voice before the game's over. So let's calm it down, Jack. All right.
Believe me, as being a singer since very early age has taught me a lot about my voice's capabilities. It's going to be more so if we have some super incredible plays going down. I'm just gonna lose all of it in those incredible plays. So United Moose and Lotus, just keep the plays to a minimum, single kills for everyone, no fat shatties, no big grabs, and let's just all have a good time. All right.
That chatty is your eternal downfall, Jack.
Yeah, that's it. That's my Achilles heel for tonight. So, what do you see coming out for either side there, Crispin?
We're going to see the Ryan Zarya on the side of Lotus with Michael G on Anna, Silber on the Lucio, and Sombra. Sombra 76 for Lotus to round him out, and a Ryan Diva, Moira Lucio, and a Ashe May for the side of Moose. And here they go.
Interesting. Moose going for an interesting pick. Oh, Kemi already getting Nat. Gonna get taken down by Mateus. As Nat able to follow up on Silber right before. Mateus also taking down Flame as they continue to work their way aggressively into United Moose's side. Lotus is going to be the first ones on the objective as they go ahead and grab control, starting their percentage climb.
Yeah, when you look at these two comps, it played out exactly as you would expect. Lotus is running a very aggressive Ryan Zarya Lucio, whereas Moose is running very passive Ryan Diva with a May and a Mercy. So they're looking for the slow, long fights here, whereas Lotus is looking to punch in the mouth, quick kills, quick fights.
All right, well, they better be careful. Nat already getting hacked in the back line as the tackles come in for either side. Antinade coming in, hits two, but the kills coming in with Tiger Lily's Coalescence ends up getting a double all alongside Nat right there, and they're going to continue to move their way into the objective. The DMAC now coming in for Doggy-O as we see Okemi taking down Michael. Shatter coming in from Sub-Hero, but being alone with Silber on the objective, they're not going to have enough to hold on at the 44% mark. We will see control switch over to United Moose.
No, we saw that aggression from Lotus bite him in the booty right there. We saw the Reinhardt just charging, get put behind a Maywall, and then PM Doggy put a nice defense matrix around him and keep him from being healed. Quick kill, and then that fight turned with a bunch of wasted ults from Lotus, unfortunately.
Well, let's go ahead and see if they can lock it down. The Graviton now coming out with attack visor from Mateus and Uni. Double kill. EMP coming in as well to round it all out, and Uni and Mateus taking advantage of that. The Sub-Hero gets the final kill onto Okemi with the Fire Strike. That objective swapping back over to Lotus's control, 50% and climb.
I really like the way Lotus is playing so aggressively with this comp. That's what it's built for, and that's the right way to go over this defensive composition, but they gotta watch their ult usage. They are investing a lot into lost fights and a lot into one fight, so they might lose in the long run in the ult economy.
Well, let's see if they can make it happen. Right now, the ults are coming out as the Shatter hits from Sub-Hero. Gets the double, but not able to clean it up in time. The res coming in to bring Tiger Lily back into the game as the Blizzard takes control of the objective at the 74% mark. We will see control swap back over to Moose as they clean up the objective.
Yeah, that was a nice clean fight, maybe slightly overused with the shatter there by Okemi, but definitely want to make sure you win that fight at 74%. You got to make sure you get control, so I'm okay with that one there. This has turned out to be a great match, real quick fights, lots of ults going on, really exciting.
That is true, and they're getting ready to work their way right back into the action. 57% and climbing right now for United Moose as Lotus almost looking to make their way in there, but the Maywall comes up to prevent anything from happening. Now we're going to see them work their way in. Okemi getting hacked once again as the anti-nade goes in onto Doggio. Diva Bomb going to get traded out, though, so they can get that rematch real quick. And now the Nano going in onto Sub-Hero will fall to Tiger Lily's Coalescence, though. Control still being held on as the attack visor now coming out from Uni, looking to see if they can get in that back line. We'll take down Tiger Lily as Perez comes in on Nat. The tackle coming in on Uni. Okemi will take them out of the fight as they continue to hold control. Graviton now coming in. That's all said and done as we see Lotus retake control of the objective here at the 99% mark.
Oh man, these fights are amazing right now. Really long. We saw a really good opening by PM Doggy with the bomb. It spread out the entire team of Lotus, let United Moose get a couple picks. But then Lotus comes back in strong with his soldier ult, finishes up some kills. They had to invest the grab, which they didn't want.
Shatter and EMP coming out for the side of Lotus, looking to clean that all up, but the bomb now in for Nat, looking to see if it can get the value it's looking for. It gets slapped immediately. Okemi back in the fight, but Sub-Hero takes down Doggio right before then. It's a 5v6 fight right now on the objective as they are struggling for control right now as we see them continue to fight their way in. United Moose coming in. The shatter comes down from Okemi. Nat with the double kill. 99-99 as overtime ticks away. Now back in control for United Moose, and in a last desperate moment, United Moose will take the lead here on Busan 1-0 at the Mecha Base.
That was an epic round on the first round of Busan there, and I think that was so great because we saw the comps running exactly how they were supposed to run. Every time Lotus was strong and aggressive with that Ryan Zarya and the Lucio speed, they punched him in the mouth, they took the fight. Every longer fight we saw came out with United Moose with the victory, playing with that Moira and Mercy and Diva, the really defensive comp. So that was really cool. Both comps worked exactly as they were supposed to, but as I said earlier, I think it was the overcommitment of ults from Lotus that lost it for him in the end.
All right, well, we see Lotus opting into the dive this time around with Uni coming in on the McCree.
Yes.
Interesting for this fight. Let's see if they can make something happen with that. Usually you don't see a McCree on the dive, but I mean, hey, anything you can make work, you know, that'll go down. Hack going on to Okemi to start things off again as they get healed up and back into the action. The dive trying to find their way into the objective, looking to see if they can get a pick on someone, anyone right now. Okemi just continuing to try to hold up that shield, but that lightning coming through is just doing too much. Chibi Kitty ends up flailing Mateus as Uni able to get that pick onto Tiger Lily. Nat going to follow up onto Silver as well as Uni trying to hold on the rally. Already coming out from Chibi Kitty as they work their way onto the high ground. Will end up finding the kill with Doggio onto Uni, and they will take control of the objective. United Moose starting their percentage climb.
Yeah, Lotus played pretty strong there. The only issue I saw was their target prioritization and target coordination. That's how we saw Chibi get so much ult charge so fast. Mateus was tickling everybody, everyone was shooting someone different, and that AoE healing from Brigitte is just so strong, and that's why we saw such quick ult charge. And we're seeing a nice flank here from Moods. The flank coming in as we saw Lotus. Shatter
Shatter coming in from Okemi as the Deadeye comes out from Uni. Not able to look for sight in there. Michael able to get the pick onto Chibi, but the rest of the fight is lost right now. 40% and climbing for United Moose.
We are seeing excellent teamwork coming out of Moose right now. That flank was extremely well timed and coordinated. We're seeing them play this slow comp nice and slow. That's why the Brigida is getting so much value, as well as the Mora. This is really good teamwork.
Beat coming in, EMP, Diva Bomb coming in, but Doggio will end up getting the double kill there. EMP comes out a little bit too late there for Kazime with that Diva Bomb. Ends up both being wasted as the team kill rings loud and proud for United Moose, 70% and climbing.
This is just voice comms and teamwork winning. That's all it is. We're just seeing great combos, great movement as a team. This is looking really good from United Moose, and Lotus is going to have to bring out something big here if they want to turn this momentum around.
All right, well, we've got some Doom action. We've got some Ryan, Zarya, Shatter coming out from Okemi, but Nat just picking heads, triple kill in the backline as the Coalescence cleans up the front line. Another team kill rings loud and proud as United Moose takes the first map here on Busan.
Man, that could not have been a more exciting first round of Busan, and could not have been a more clean second round out of United Moose. That was almost perfection, I would say, on that second point from Moose. The Diva Bomb EMP combos are great, the flank rotations were great, the slow play on the first point to get max value out of the healers and comp that you're running. It was so, it was just very well thought out, slow, the coordination strategy was perfect. They just outplayed him.
Well, let's hope that's just a warm-up game for Lotus. I mean, you don't make it to the finals by memeing your way into victory, although maybe. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong there, folks in the chat. But I believe that Lotus has what it takes to turn things around. Maybe Control's just not their map. Maybe we're looking at a 3-1 sweep here in the finals from Lotus as they choose their next map. Will be headed to Hybrid. So it'll be interesting to see what map they end up picking. If you were Lotus there, what map would you choose?
So we are moving to the hybrid map style. So it doesn't matter what team I'm on. I'm picking King's Row. But in this sense, I'd be careful with King's Row because Nat has definitely shown herself to be a very strong hit scan player, and that is a great Ashe map. As well as most of the other hybrid maps are as well. So you don't have a whole lot of options, I guess, in that respect. But I would say they should go to a more brawly style comp, something slower, because the aggression it just didn't work on Control. We saw the passiveness and we saw the ability to stay calm on United Moose and execute their game plan. And a rush comp doesn't always gel that well with going against a defensive comp if they're playing smart. So I would go something to match that slow style comp to see if you can just out damage them or out strategize them at that point.
Well, I can definitely concur with that. I'm not a fan of King's Row, not because I don't like the map, but just because as casters we see it all the time. All the time. Every time they have the ability to choose a map, we're going to King's Row. Personally, I would go to Blizzard World because at least if you're getting your butt kicked, you're having an enjoyable time trying to take the rides as you go along. And I'm totally joking on that. I feel like Lotus has it in them to bring it back. But Blizzard World, I feel, is a great pick. But again, as you predicted there, Crispin, we're headed to King's Row because nobody knows of any other hybrid maps. They're like, wait, there's other ones? I don't know what you're talking about there. But as you stated, King's Row is the most versatile map to run. You can run dive, you can run double shield, you can run double sniper, you can run double sky princess. I mean, any meta that you could possibly think of, you can run it on King's Row because it can just be very useful. So as soon as the teams are ready to go, we'll go ahead and head on in there. Looking in the chat, it looks like it's not Uni, it's
Is
Eh,
it now?
I guess, which is weird because wouldn't they spell their name like there is an M.
It's 2020. People spell names and pronounce names
I
however they
guess.
want at this point.
I suppose. It doesn't help me if I don't actually know that ahead of time. So then us as the casters look dumb. It's like, how do you not know that's at this point in time? It's like, well, I haven't casted a Lotus match, so I didn't know. But sorry, we'll go ahead and take care of that. As uh what? I mean,
We're having some connection issues, I think, here with our sub that's coming in.
all right. Well, as we wait for that, I want to give a special thank you to Link's Disease. 4 months subscribed with Twitch Prime and saying, "Go United Moose."
The way to do it. So we're seeing actually, I casted United Moose Lotus during the regular season. They were my very first casting, actually. And we saw a similar round or match on the first map, except it was swapped where Lotus took the second map extremely strong with a really, really good dive. And this time we saw United Moose take it really strong on the second round. So they went to 5 maps that first time. Every map was competitive. It was a really exciting match. So hopefully we'll get something similar here.
I just realized as you were saying that UM is United Moose. And I forget
yeah.
I forget that we're delayed, so I'm seeing the plays, and they're talking in the chat, and it's related to when Uni's making plays. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So I'm sorry, folks. Like I said, I've been casting since 3 p.m. Eastern time today. I mean, it was for a good cause. We were raising money for COVID-19 research, which I always implore you, if you have the money to do so, be sure to donate to your local charities, help people out there in need. But man, I'm as much as my voice is here, my mind is not.
And well, we appreciate all the work you do for charity, Captain Jack. You guys raised like what, $400,000-$500,000 on that one?
Right now, as of today, so we're in a 2-day tournament. We've delayed the finals and the couple matches before that till tomorrow. We're currently sitting at a little over $3,000
Nice.
for COVID research. So
And
really excited.
Where can we
for that.
find this stream and tournament if we want to watch on Twitch?
If you want to find it, just search LANFest. They sponsored the tournament. There were 14 teams going at it in a double elimination bracket, and we'll be finishing up everything tomorrow with the losers bracket working their way through till the grand finals. And top contributors are able to get cool prizes like keyboards and mouses and stuff like that. So if you're interested, be sure to check it out, twitch.tv/LANFest, LANFAFEST.
Nice. And dude, this is an OCC stream, so calm it down.
I'm trying.
I'm just.
It's just good to put my good talents to use. So
yes, it is.
Now going into the action right now, it looks like we're seeing again the Rhine Sigma this time around against the Rhine Diva. Flame Okami coming in on the Reaper this time around, as well as Uni on the Ash, and Silver retaking their spot as Kelly Kaniki comes in to fill for the heals on that Mercy.
Oh, and we're seeing some great aggression coming out from United Moose early, getting rid of the turret quickly, getting rid of the enemy Ryan quickly. They've got them backed into the right corner right now with full control on the point.
That's true, but the fight isn't over just yet. Mateus trying to come back in and counter it out, but again, without having that Zarya, it is so difficult to get aggressive. Now the Coalescence coming out there from Mirai, and they're going to go ahead and take Objective Alpha. 5 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock to shoot the payload through the streets phase.
Now, we got to give a lot of credit to the Moose coaches right now. whoever they are, because their team is playing primo. The comp they have is great. It's defensive, it's slow, and then when you're running it with this Lucio, you hit the go button on speed boost in the Mei wall and you destroy somebody. And that's exactly what they did. They played that fight perfectly. It's just excellent execution.
All right, well, let's see if they can keep it going. Ultimates are online for this next fight. It's Bob versus the Blizzard as the Bob gets invested into the fight. Maywall ends up going up, allowing them to focus in on the Bob, and Doggy-O will go ahead and take them down. Now it's Molten Core versus Shatter Blizzard, and it looks like the Blizzard's going to pop off strong, getting the triple kill, quadruple kill right there from United Moose. They will move United with the payload to Objective Bravo with 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
I like the start from Uni there, trying to get in the Bob, get position on the cart, kind of get some aggression. But the wall from Nat and overall his Mei so far has been excellent and on point. Blocked everybody off in Lotus, let Moose take care of the Bob without any worries, and then they threw their ultimate.
All right, going back into the action, the Coalescence comes out, looking to see if it can grab its value. Mateus getting the nano, another Bob going in for Uni, but ends up getting booped off the objective. Now the Blossom coming up from Flame, gets the quintuple kill, and that will be Mirai taking down Sub-Hero. Team kill rings loud as they grab objective number 2 with 5 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock.
Man, this is just ult usage right now from Moose is just far superior. They're proactive with their ults when they're supposed to be, and they're reactive with the other ults that they're supposed to be reactive with. Right now, they're just winning the ult game, winning the aggression game. Total coordination right there is right here for Moose.
All right, we see Doggy-O dive into the high ground. The Diva Bomb goes off in the back line, but the Mei wall absorbs the damage. They're headed into final fight territory. They gotta get them off the cart. The Blizzard coming out, but Doggy-O can't eat it in time, and the cleanup is coming in now. Silver and Mateus able to get the double kill right there as they move in to try to take down the rest of the team, but they're still continuing to hold strong. Coalescence now coming out from Mirai, looking to see if they can hold the team together, push in on this 4v6, but I don't think it's going to end up happening. They're going to use the Coalescence instead to back out and regroup, but I mean, they've got plenty of time. 4 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Moose only lost their 2 DPS there, so they were able to have more of a soft reset, especially with that Mortar ult coming out. The Mortar ult coming out was able to keep them ready to go. Oh, and here we go with Lucio ult heading in.
Back into the fights again. Bob, Bongos, and Gravitic Flux all being invested into the fight as we see the Bob get frozen out. Uni and Silver end up getting picks, but with all those ultimates, still not enough death happening on the side of United Moose. They are just standing incredibly strong against the Lotus's defense.
Yeah, we see this all the time, especially on maps like Kings Row or Havana or Rialto, where you absolutely roll through the streets and then you get to this last point and then you just get stuck. And at this point, you just gotta calm yourself down, slow yourself down, check the ult economy, hit one big combo. That's all you need to get moving again and finish it up. Don't let yourself just start wasting ults and losing fights.
All right, well, the Dynamite's big in the back line right there as Uni working their way back up to another Bob for the next fight. Coalescence coming out from Mirai. Now the Blizzard gets thrown in. We got the Venn diagram of Blizzard action going on right now with Cal sending out the Coalescence, trying to keep everyone in the Blizzard alive. Will end up being successful as Uni just raining down bullets from above. Silver will poke Okemi right between the eyes of Mateus, taking down Mirai with 2 minutes 30 seconds on the clock. All those ultimates invested and still not a single retake of the objective.
Yeah, Lotus has reacted perfectly here, putting Ashe on the high ground along with Michael G. No one on Lotus really has or on Moose has a chance to get up there. Now that they have the Widow, that might change. That's a good swap from them, and the swap to the Orisa makes her a little bit more stout against this aggressiveness that Moose is trying to push in with. So that's a good swap off of the Rein.
All right, the Gravitic Flux comes out, ends up grabbing Okami, but drops down into the Immortality Field, so it's gonna stand strong. Uni, finding themselves off the side of the map. I'm not for certain how that happened, but we'll see the Bob invested anyway. They'll continue to hold strong for a little bit as we see now the payload moving its way forward. Silver will end up taking down Nat regardless of positioning, as Mateus and Kel following up on kills of their own. Immortality going down quickly once again, and they will continue to hold this objective with 1 minute 25 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah, we're going to need to see some fireworks, I think, from Nat here to be able to get this payload pushed all the way. Going to have some one-shots, especially on Ashe, on Uni right now, because he is controlling this high ground. He's putting in tons of damage, and while he's not launching himself off the side, he's being extremely effective.
That is true. That initial dynamite getting nothing but a roof plate right there as they move their way back in. It looks like now Doggio switching over to the double shield with the Sigma as they move their way in, hoping that a Gravitic Flux will save the day, but the suck comes out a little too late. The Blizzard's gonna retake control of the objective, but does not take a life. Uni with the dynamite straight to Net's face is gonna allow them to continue to clean this up. And it looks like United Moose just going for a hard reset because they've got 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, props to them for jumping off, keeping the presence in mind to know that if they jump off, they're going to get one more strong fight much quicker. They've got ult advantage here. They have a lot of longevity in their comp. They can win this, but we're seeing some big ults coming up from Lotus as well. This initial Gravitic Flux is going to be really important for Lotus. They need to draw a lot of cooldowns out.
That's true. The Sigma 9 could be coming out, and here it is. Sub-Hero able to hold Okemi right off the side as Uni ends up taking down Flame. The Blossom comes out, but there's an Immortality Field keeping everyone alive. The Bongos now coming out from Sub-Hero. Gonna look to see if they can hold everything together. Chibi Kitty on the Battle Mercy, not able to dole out enough damage, and they will hold Objective 2 at the 56-meter mark.
Yeah, that was an excellent hold. Really good job of getting the team back together, calming themselves down. The Silver May ult there right around the corner was really what changed it all. And we saw PM Doggy, he was a couple meters away from eating that on his Diva from the high ground. That could have changed everything, but really, really good hold. And I think just a little slow on the swaps for Moose. I would have liked to see Okami move to something that could have been more effective than the Reaper. He just doesn't have any room to work with all the high ground being taken from him already. And Nat just didn't get the value out of the Widow. Probably should have gone to the Ashe a little bit earlier. She was only Ashe, I think, maybe for the last fight or two. So just a little bit slower there on the swats, but they had an extremely strong streets phase and first point. So they set themselves up for a win here. This is definitely possible.
All right, well, Nat will be taking your advice and going on to the Ashe to start things off with the traditional double shield coming out, the Orisa Sigma for United Moose's defense. On the attack, it looks like Lotus is looking to get brawly and super aggressive with Silver and Uni coming out on the Reaper Ashe, and the Rein Zarya starting them out on the tank line. So let's see if they have it in them to make it happen.
Yeah, in my experience, this is a really strong comp for Lotus. They really like to play aggressive. Sub-Hero Matthias worked really well on the Rein Zarya. I think this could work well for them.
All right, well, Kel on that Lucio providing a lot of speed and healing right there. We're going to end up seeing a Silver get rocked out, but Uni will grab Chibi Kitty in the backline there, and there they go. Speed boosting into the objective, looking to see if they can get the value they're looking for, but the team is so separated, moving in all different directions, but the kills still come up all Lotus. Silver will take the final pick there onto Okemi and grab Objective Alpha with 3 minutes 15 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Moose is running the Moira Zen healing duo, which is plenty of healing with the Moira there. Lots of damage potential, obviously, with the Zen, but they're not a super mobile healing duo. And I think that's just what we saw there. They each got picked out kind of on their own and just weren't able to put the heals out because they were dead.
That is true, and as the streets phase begin, we see Michael pushing that payload solo as the rest of the team advances to the front lines, looking to see if they can get some picks before they make it to objective number 2. Flame able to use the Maywall to try to get out Mateus, but leaves a small crack for them to slide in through. They're going to be able to get regrouped with the rest of the team and end up taking down Chibi Kitty in the process as they retreat with the rest of the team. The Graviton Shatter coming out. Mateus with the quintuple kill cleans up the objective with the payload still very, very far off from its resting place.
Yeah, and that's what's scary about running the Zen over the Lucio, especially when you're getting rolled like that, is that they can just walk up on you, and that entire time it was a 5v6. Every time someone came back from Moose, someone died for Moose, so they never had a full strength fight, but they got great ults to push on here with. I think they can rehold this.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Uni just taking control of the high ground, gets the quadruple kill with the main fire. Silver getting the double of their own, and the team kill will ring loud, setting themselves up for a 0.3 big time on the clock, 5 minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah, and we're seeing Moose even throwing away some ults right now just to get on a stronger comp, something that can hold up more with this Ryan Zarya. They're going to match it, actually. The difference here is going to be Lucio versus Zen. Both have ults here. Whoever uses support ult last normally wins the fight.
All right, well, the Bob going in. The Transcendent gets invested first, so Kel is holding on to that beat. The Blizzard goes in. The beat trying to save the day, but everybody's caught up in the Blizzard. That beat not going to be able to save much of anything. Unfortunately, the picks are coming in, but no. Whoa, wait! Lotus continuing to hold strong regardless. Anti-Nade's coming in. They are going to take this objective. 3, 2, 1! They will still somehow survive the Blizzard, move their way back into the objective, taking this map and tying it up 1-1 here on Kings Row.
Yeah, that opening Bob got some great kills. I think they had about 2 or 3 opening kills. Then the freeze came in from May, where Moose got 3 kills. And unfortunately, Moose was only down to a sniper in their Widow and the Zarya without any cooldowns. And Lotus had 2 supports left, and that was the most important thing. They were able to have the longevity, got those last couple kills, and ended up taking the map in a crazy final fight.
That is absolutely true right there. We're going to go ahead and throw it to a quick halftime break to let the teams rest for a little bit. The Overwatch Cavalry Club scrims will be back in about 5 minutes.
So I told him, yeah. Just another day. How about you?
Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims, where we are seeing the finals of Stage 1 going off between United Moose and Lotus. United Moose holding very strong on first point Busan, but Lotus just impactfully turning it around onto King's Row. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Crispin on the analyst role. Crispin, what do you think we're going to see in our next map, Rialto?
Honestly, it's gonna be hard to say with the 7 maps I've casted for these teams and the past 2 matches they've played. They're pretty much split even now at this point, so they're an extremely closely matched team. I think that we just saw the aggression from Lotus kind of out comp United Moose there on King's Row. I like the Zen pick, but Lotus is just too strong, too fast, and this speed from the Lucio just beat out the damage orbs from the Zen. So if we see Moose go back to a more defensive comp, something that can withstand a couple more punches in the face and push back, I think we're going to see Moose come back strong here against Lotus. And you got to be careful Lotus doesn't get too into their heads thinking they can just hold W here. Moose showed they can play defensively.
That is true. And looking in the chat, it seems to be just as even keel with supporters in the chat as well. Half for United Moose and half for Lotus the entire way. Now, Rialto allows itself for very many strategies to be used, but typically the best part that people try to hold is this very first objective with the bridge. Usually we see a lot of Lucio Orisa, hog play go down, trying to get the boops over the side. And it looks like we have some folks in the chat asking for some hog and ball torture. I mean, that's definitely something we could see tonight. I would hope not, because it's not usually a viable comp. But it would definitely be interesting to see nonetheless. But the boops are always big on Rialto if you can hold that bridge, and if that is the plan for one or both of these teams, it could set them up for a very early victory here on Rialto. Otherwise, we're just waiting to see when the teams are going to be ready. So once again, I remind you, be sure to hit that heart, punch that bell, hit that sub button if you have the money to support us. We greatly appreciate it. We know the times are hard right now. And I guess while we're waiting, I do want to give a special shout out to, we were talking about those that are raising money for COVID-19 research. And I would say for us here at OCCS, thank you to those of you that are on the front lines for this, the essential workers that are out there day in, day out, from the doctors and nurses to the grocery store and warehouse workers. We literally could not continue to live and our country move forward without you. So thank you so much for doing all that you do for us. It looks like we are ready and raring to go. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road as we head to Rialto.
Yeah, Rialto is a really fun map. As you said, both bridges are your ideal spots to hold on the first point. You have great corners to hold, you have great rooms to flank on, you have high ground options. So that's really where you're looking to make your hold. Streets phase is pretty tough to hold on Rialto on second point here. There's just so many entrances all over the place. And third point, not impossible to take, one of the more difficult ones to take in the game. So you're really looking for a good first point hold here, because otherwise you're probably going to get pretty close to point 3 on your defense, and you don't want that. You're looking for that quick game. So we'll see if the Ryan Diva coming out from Moose is going to be what they want to run again. Looks like they're running the same comp as Busan, which was so effective. And double shield coming back for Lotus. Pretty much the same comp they ran on King's Road defense first, with that Torbjorn and the Ashe.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they have it in them to make it work with Doggio coming in on that Diva. Going to be able to dive on that high ground where Uni is set up. So will provide a lot of value if they can take Uni out of the fight. They have just been inseparable on that Ashe, just getting clicking heads over and over and over again. Let's see if they can make it happen as the payload starts moving its way over the bridge. We now see Doggio making their way to the high ground, trying to shoot around the shields, provide some defense matrix for their counterparts as they move their way past the bridge. The use of the Orisa, at least for the boops, has been surpassed. They're now splitting up as they move their way around the objective. Flame on that Sombra, trying to get into that backline. The hook coming in on the turret, but will get taken down by Silver. Torbjorn does not like it when you take down his turret, I tell you. And Nat will go ahead and clean that turret up while it's still hacked. The dynamite comes in, providing a lot of fire for them, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and back up as they are already down 2 heroes.
Yeah, it was a good backup by Moose. Losing one hero, you know, you don't want to go with especially your Sombra. You're looking for a hack target to be your kill target. She's your win condition. So good backup. Nat's getting a lot of damage in, getting pretty close to a Bob, but Uni's ahead of her already.
All right, Mirai coming out with the Coalescence. The Bob gets invested into the backline and gets tackled out of the way, but without the main shield in front, going to be really hard to continue to hold on. Uni ends up taking down Tiger Lily as Silver follows up on Mirai, and it is the DPS show for the side of Lotus right now. Nat able to take down Uni there, but the bongos coming out are going to solidify their hold for Lotus. 2 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Okemi tackling the Bob. It seems like a good play right well, when you think about it on the moment, getting the Bob out of the way, but no shield on your front lines. They're just hiding behind a cart, and Lotus is able to spam on him for free. So he needs to be more disciplined, let his team take care of the Bob, keep that shield up front.
That's the hope anyway. Let's see if they can make their way in once again. United Moose is united once again as we see Okemi with the Shatter online. Bob as well for Nat. The Molten Core comes out, gets the pick onto Flame as the Diva Bomb comes out from Doggio. Despite not being in an interesting position, will get the double kill on to Matthias and Silver, and they'll push their way into Objective 1. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, Lotus was had a nice combo set to put some big damage out with the window from Baptiste and the Torbjorn ult going through it, which is great, but the fat shatter from Okemi followed by the bomb, it was good coordination to get those both going on time, and those big quick kills were able to turn the fight.
That's what I missed. In all the action, I did not hear the shatter. That would definitely clear up that confusion right there. We now see Silver swapping over to the Echo, and the Bob coming in once again from both sides. Double Bobs on the field, but we see the hack coming in onto Uni's Bob. Gravitic Flux ends up grabbing 5, but will still continue to hold strong as they push their way in. We see Silver versus Flame on the high ground, and Flame has the EMP online, ready to do some damage. We see the bongos now coming up from Sub-Hero, looking to try to push them back, but without a pick to be had, except for Nat coming back from the spawn now on the Widow. It looks like they're ready to do some damage with that EMP.
Yeah, Moose handled the Bob really well there. Got to give him props for that versus the way they did it last time. And the EMP is their big fight win right here. Here it is.
Here it comes! It's a 5-man EMP with the shatter to follow, but the Amp Matrix now coming out from Michael, the only one not caught in that EMP, trying to see if they can grab some value out of that. And the picks, they're coming in for the side of Lotus despite the wonderful timing. Bob, whoa! We're trying to figure out how he's going to run into the objective, apparently. And just gets glitched out there for a moment, but now is protecting the objective, keeping it hold on as Kel ends up investing the Coalescence to try to push back against United Moose. Now we see the rest of the team coming back into the action as Matthias ends up getting hacked by Flame in the backline, trying to see if they can hold on. Now we see Silver coming back in as the Rhine looking to grab at that shatter, seeing if they can get up that one. It's getting close. Oh no, it wears out just in time. It's the Gravitic Flux now coming in from Doggio. The picks just not are coming in. Gravitic Flux now coming in from Matthias, looking to see if they can grab some value, but not able to get it until it falls. They will start getting the picks that they are looking for. Such a long fight, but it looks like Lotus will continue to hold this objective.
Oh man, these guys are killing your voice. What are they doing to you?
I know. I said that's the caster curse. You ask nicely, and they're like, nope.
That fight was intense, and the big play that I think that really turned that for Lotus was, looked like Matthias got the rock off onto a PM doggy during his ult, so they got no value out of the Flux. That's tons of damage saved, and in the long fight, these healers from Lotus have a little bit more staying power than United Moose.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can hold strong as we see the Amp Matrix coming out from Michael. Not able to do much, but Nat will get the pick onto Uni. Shatter comes in but gets nothing but shield for Akemi as the Coalescence now coming out from Mirai, looking to grab this objective. Immortality going up right now for Michael G, but immediately gets taken down. Nat getting pick after pick onto the DPS, and with a fervor, they will grab objective number 2 almost with no contest whatsoever.
Yeah, Nat is just playing out of her mind right now. She's getting tove by Silver on the Echo. Dashed and dodged and hooked and then popped it in their head all by herself. No help from anybody on her team. And she's just making hero plays right now, keeping her team in it.
Well, Nat definitely doing an incredible job right there as they move into objective number 3. 1 minute 30 seconds remaining on the clock right now as we see Lotus setting up for the defense once again. Mateus does have the Gravitic Flux online with Silver getting ready to come in with that. Oh, never mind. Nothing happening there as the EMP comes. Oh, I digress. It looks like the kills are coming in the opposite direction. Flame thought that they had it right there, but the team was not close enough to move in on that EMP. So with an ultimate wasted and Flame now swapping over to the Reaper for this next fight, it looks like Nat will also be swapping off the Widow for a Tracer.
Yeah, that you got it right there. Just a little bit too early on that EMP. I wanted him to be aggressive with it. I wanted to get him out before the Gravitic Flux came out, but just team couldn't follow up quite quick enough. Lucio would have really been helpful there.
All right, well, let's see if United Moose can make it happen. Gravitic Flux coming in, gets traded with the Bob as the Immortality Field saving the day, and now we're going to see Silver coming in as the Tracer. Interesting pick right there as the Bob goes way far on the outside, not getting the value that it's looking for. Silver will end up getting the pulse bomb onto Doggio as Mateus following up on Tiger Lily. Coalescence now coming out from Kel, looking to see if they can clean it all up and will be successful. Overtime will tick away, but I don't believe United Moose will have. Oh no, I lied. Doggio died just soon enough that they were able to touch and keep the time ticking, but I don't think anyone else is going to be able to make it there in time, with just again very shy of the last objective. We will see United Moose head on to the defense.
Yeah, Moose is just having a little bit of trouble with that final push, and as I said, they're just slightly off with their timing on that EMP, and that was their winning fight. That's the fight they wanted to take. That was their win condition. But we're also seeing the comp on the side of Lotus just having a little bit more defensiveness and a little bit more longevity with the Baptiste. The Immortality Field is humongous, and he does an enormous amount of healing as well, and his survivability is top-notch for the support. So I think that's the real big difference here, is just the longevity of the comp that Lotus is running, which had been the advantage that United Moose had been playing with earlier. So they kind of swapped sides now, and we're seeing the mirror Baptiste coming out from Moose to try to stand up there with Michael G.
All right, well, let's see if they can make it happen. It looks like for the most part, we're going to be seeing Lotus on the same setup, except for Silver coming in as the Tracer this time around. Flame going to start off on the Reaper instead of going on to that the other heroes that we've been seeing them play tonight. Do you think that they're going to be able to get close enough to be of any value?
On this first point, I definitely think so. It is small corridors, lots of great teleport options here. You can be very sneaky with the Reaper nowadays. Coming to second and third point, though, it's definitely going to be a swap they want to look at if it's not working out for them.
All right, well, the Holt tries to take some off the side, but Lotus will continue to hold strong as Nat taking down both Silver and Uni with the DPS already out of the fight. It looks like we are headed into deadly territory right now for the side of United Moose. They're going to continue to move their way in, looking to see if they can get some additional picks. That payload is moving strong and fast right now as the shields continue to go down. Doggio trying to get the suck in as much as possible as Flame trying to take down Mateus on their own, but will end up being unsuccessful. Sub-Hero taking down Flame in the backline right there. As we see the Immortality Fields get traded out, the fight continuing out. Coalescences coming out for either side right now. The Kamehamehas going at one another as they fight their way into this objective hold. Now Amplification Matrix coming out for Mirai as the Gravitic Flux from Mateus does end up grabbing two. Immortality will save the day. The Amp Matrix now coming out for Michael G, looking to see if they can fight their way through this choke. Will be successful as Uni gets the triple kill to clean it up. 2 minutes, 30 seconds turns into 5 minutes as they grab objective number 1.
Man, these fights are hanging on the edge of a knife. It's one pick here, one pick there, and then two the other way. I mean, everything is crazy right now. It's just, you know, just slightly, I think, a little bit better DPS right now coming out for Lotus. They're getting the final blows, whereas Moose is getting everyone low. I mean, they can definitely be winning these fights. They just need to land that final blow.
All right, well, let's see if they can keep it going. Looks like we got a notification in the chat that the DJD Stack Squad have joined us. Let's get the hype train moving, folks, as that payload is furiously moving as well. Gravitic Flux comes out, ends up grabbing just the Bob for one side, but Doggio able to take down Mateus, and that is going to go ahead and allow them to hold. The bongos getting invested from Okemi will allow them to grab this objective finally from Lotus, but Lotus got plenty of time to try to take this back.
Yeah, as hard as the second point is to hold, this is your best chance. You can get great high ground control in these archways from your Ashe. You can hold the corner really strong with those two shields. And there's not too much flanking that can go on that's not noticed. So this is your best chance to hold. This is where you can run a lot of time off the clock.
All right, the dynamite goes in.
Field.
That is true. We'll take down that immortality field early. They're going to wish that they had that for this fight as they move their way in. Coalescence again battling it out at the same time. Take down the immortality field of Michael G as they move their way into the objective. Halts and Gravitic Fluxes all coming out. Ends up grabbing two. Not getting the kill value they're looking for though until Kel sends that grasp in the backline, taking down Nat. There's a 5v6-5 pulse bomb going in. We'll take down Flame with both DPS out of the fight. It's going to be hard to hold as the dynamite goes down into the middle of it, all clearing all that is United Moose. They will go ahead and push that payload into objective number 2 and possibly grab it without even a contest.
The payload has
Yeah, they are going to grab it there for that second checkpoint. We're seeing these fights. They're so close. These teams are just so fun to watch. They're so close. Really just need Moose to push forward just a little more. Get that aggressiveness. One more killing blow.
Well, Flame is coming up on the Blossom as they're looking to try to find an angle to move in on. But again, with Michael G coming out with the amplification matrix, going to be hard to hold on to. Doggy uses the Gravitic Flux, but ends up getting canceled out again by the Immortality Field. Bob and Bongos used, but we see the investment of the Blossom as well. Nat and Uni trading kills on one another, but Uni's continuing to hold strong until Nat takes it out with the dynamite. Goal lessons coming out from Kel as they furiously move their way into the early objective number 3, but they won't be able to touch, just barely 0.13 meters on the objective right now as they try to make their way in, but the picks continuing to come in for the side of Lotus. They are cleaning up the objective despite the spawn advantage, despite being down players. They are still holding incredibly strong, and they will grab objective number 3. Lotus taking the lead after the half, 2-1 here on Rialto.
Yeah, we are just seeing, I think Silber is really giving him a hard time in the backlines. Nat has definitely gotten some picks and is holding her own against the Tracer, but I think she's forcing enough early cooldowns. That's, I think, where we're seeing a lot of the mortality fields having to come out a little early. They just need to be able to check the Tracer a little bit more. Maybe swapping to the McCree off of the Ashe, or maybe a May instead of the Somber or the Reaper could work. But they got to do something about Silber in the backlines because he seems to be tearing them up.
That is true. As we prepare for our last map, looking in the chat, it looks like we still got lots going on with our recent raid that we just got. Love having people raiding into the action. But I have to say, this has been incredibly close for these two teams, and their scores mirror that as well. Both teams are coming into this matchup minus the playoffs 2-1 with only a map differential of 2 between them. I believe it's United Moose that is sitting in the top seed with like a +7, whereas Lotus is sitting with a +5. And that's literally the only thing that's separating these two teams, other than one team sitting in the middle with just a little bit extra map differential in there. But being eliminated early, these are the ones that we're looking at now. We're headed into our assault map, which will be picked out by United Moose once again. And if you were United Moose, where would you send us?
I'd look for something that probably has the best defensive hold options possible, especially on point A. So I think something like Hanamura or Anubis is probably where I would go, but they are going to go with Volskaya. This is a good map to hold on those high grounds, and if they can be disciplined and get their rotations right and stay calm and not get tilted and overwhelmed by this aggression, it's a really good spot to hold, a really good point to hold.
And it seems like that is what United Moose is going for too, is that trying to shut down the aggression, the best way to do that is to try to keep your enemies at a distance as much as possible. A place like Volskaya Industries, you can take the high ground advantage, but you have to have somebody that's able to jump down on the objective to be able to contest while everyone's kind of raining hellfire from above. So either we're going to continue to see this double shield composition with the Orisa Sigma that we've been seeing, or we might end up seeing a swap to like an Orisa Diva or a Sigma Diva that allows the Diva to just kind of hold the objective, but able to dash away to safety if need be to continue to be protected. We're just waiting for some final swaps here. It looks like we're going to have Kazime come in for possibly the final fight here on Volskaya in place of Uni, which actually is going to shut down a lot of the damage. Not to say that Kazime doesn't do their own set of damage, but Uni has just been picking up kills left and right on the Ashe tonight. And having them swapped out for Volskaya might put Lotus at a disadvantage.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Nat wants to keep running that hit scan with Kazime Silver. I think they're probably gonna try to run something like a May Reaper, something slower because I do believe Kazime plays a very strong May, if I remember correctly. So I think we might see something pretty defensive coming here out of Lotus.
All right. Well, we will definitely see that here in a minute. Folks, just blow up the chat. Let us know what you're thinking about, who your possible player of the match might be. We've got lots of incredible contenders for that title tonight. So be sure to let us know. Crispin, who do you have your eyes on for player of the match tonight?
Right now,
Traveling to
I'm
Volskaya
torn. I think
Industries.
both DPS on the side of Lotus have been played very strong. Silver and Uni in particular, but I don't think you ever get to that point if you don't have your support staying
Initiating
super
match.
strong. So I'm gonna say Michael G on the Baptiste. It's been very good in these past two maps. I think it's the reason that they're winning. His immortality field usage has been on point, and his windows have been very effective and gotten a lot of value.
I actually have to concur with you on that. As much as we like to tout the big plays that come from the DPS and the tanks, it's really the healers sometimes that are doing a
Ready
vast
for
majority
battle.
of the work, making sure that their heroes stay alive. And both Michael and Kel Kaneki just have been doing an incredible job of keeping Lotus alive, regardless of what's going on. We see the same thing coming out from
The
United
raider
Moose as
attackers
well
incoming in
between
30
Mirai,
seconds.
Tiger Lily, and Chibi Kitty. They've just been doing great holding everything together here. Uh, for the defense, though, it looks like we're seeing exactly kind of what we expected initially from United Moose if they were going to be on the defense, with Silver now taking the reins of the Ashe.
Yeah, so I know I've seen Silver play the Widow, and he's been pretty strong, so we'll see if he can hold it up there. But we've got the Somber v Somber. This is a big duel. Who can hack who first is going to be huge. Who can scout out the other's translocator beacon first is going to be huge. And we also see Tiger Lily swap into the tank roll, off tank on Zarya, and PM Doggy go into the Lucio. So we're seeing the Moira Lucio really, really strong for all comp healing.
Interesting. That definitely will put them in an interesting position as they try to hold the entrance to the objective. We're going to see United Moose just ignore that entirely and move their way around the other side of the truck, but they are going to get met with Silver's dynamite. Oh, but Silver's going to get booped out of position, tries to use the coach gun to get themselves back on the high ground, but will end up falling in the end. Thankfully, the rest of the team is there to clean everything up. Flame Okemi holding that back line, getting healed up as they wait for their team to get back into the action.
Yeah, PM Doggy had made the exact right play, booping Silver off the high ground. It was just a little late. You know, he's got to be up there right away. She got 2 big dynamites on top of the team already and a kill on the choke, so it's just a little late, but he's got the right idea. Gets to it quicker. I think they've got a good chance to win this.
Ooh, not a good start for them as Okemi already getting hacked out by Kazime, just kind of standing there in the corner. Nobody's business, but Silver will take down Flame as they enter the objective, so they don't have that pesky Sombra to worry about. Kazime working their way onto the high ground, ends up taking down Nat as well. The Coalescence now coming out from Mirai, looking to see if they can hold everything together, but with the picks continuing to come in, I don't think that Coalescence is going to save the day this time.
Yeah, using the Coalescence there is no big deal. It's basically a cooldown, especially for Moira, I mean, with how quickly she gets it. But Moose is walking into a slaughter fest coming in here. Silver only had to use the Bob to hold that point. They've got 5 ults in the pocket. They have EMP Flux. They've got EMP Coalescence, which is a very strong combo. They have Coalescence Bongos, which is a really strong combo. So this hopefully is a dry fight for Moose. They understand they're going to lose it. They hopefully draw out a bunch of ults and come back strong for the next fight, which should be their winning fight.
Well, they do have some swaps coming in as well. Nat opting over to the McCree, with Flame swapping over to the Junkrat. But somebody's got to get on that high ground and contest, and Silver is going to take down Flame to start things off. Gravitic Flux comes in, and the Bongos are invested by Doggio. Silver continuing to get pick after pick as the EMP cancels out the sound barrier, and that will go ahead and be another clear up the objective. 1 minute, 15 seconds remaining for United Moose.
Yeah, using the sound barrier there was not what you wanted. They got most of what they wanted out of Lotus with the EMP and the Flux being used, but no support ult, so that's going to be rough. They have the more Coalescence coming, they have a grab and a shatter, so you're going to have to see something big. And they just swapped to the BAP for going the Coalescence.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice right there. The Coalescence, as you know, unless it gets stunned out by someone, it goes pretty much through everything. But we're going to see Okemi just charge right in to the open window, looking to see if they can get a pick, but the Bongo's gonna solidify that those deaths are gonna happen very, very quickly. Mateus getting the triple kill with Sub-Hero, a double of their own. Team kill will ring loud and proud as 20 seconds remains on the clock.
Yeah, and we saw why they made the swap to BAP. He saved 4 people his immortality field there for quite a while. So it wasn't not a bad swap at all. But hopefully the speed boosts him from P-Doggy and we get a big high noon, but Kazime is ready for a hack.
Let's see if they can make it happen. Going into the objective, Shatter comes down, but gets nothing there. High noon now coming out from Nat, looking to see if they can grab value, but the Coalescence, Bob, and Sub-Hero on that Arista is just cleaning everything up. Whoa! Nat taking a dynamite to the leg, shot across the objective. Unfortunately, that does not count as holding for overtime, being shot into oblivion. Not a tick to be had for United Moose, which technically means that even if this is drawn out, Lotus does win the finals match for stage 1.
So yeah, looks like we are playing just a victory round almost here. Not exactly sure if the teams know that, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing this being hotly contested no matter what.
Of
But
course.
you know,
all
Silver on the
about
high
pride.
ground. Silver on the high ground was just controlling everything, and Kazime's Sombra was
Ready for battle.
hacking the Rhine on Okemi every single push, and they were never checking him in the corners. They just ran through the choke, and Kazime got the hack off onto whoever he wanted. Swapping to a Brig would have been really nice there. Maybe to a Diva, someone that can just spam, or a Monkey, someone that can go through the choke just to get her out, stop the hacks from coming would have been really big. Because Kazime's Sombra was just controlling them, and once they got hacked, they were looking around, didn't know what to do with Silver on the high ground because no one could get up to him except for the Lucio. But he's got to worry about healing.
Yep, that's absolutely true. And it looks like we're going to be seeing the Sombra battle once again. But the question is, can United Moose hold strong on this defense? It looks like, though, we're getting a dive coming in from Lotus this time.
And with
How
the
about
Moira
that?
Mercy, it's kind of a tough dive healing combo, but we'll see what happens.
All right, well, the first pick coming in from Nat, immediately taking down Silver. The dive going on to the high ground, looking to see if they can take down Nat. Nat trying to hold strong, does get to the immortality field in time, but Kazume will take that down quick, but will fall to Nat as well with both DPS out of the action. It looks like this is going to end the push there for Lotus.
Yeah, what you can do with a setup like this, the way that Moose is running with the Widow on the top right high ground and everyone else playing the bottom left, is you can use your Widow for bait. The second they dive, you know exactly where she's going to grapple hook to, and then you can set up a stun chain or a focus target or whatever you want to do. But if you can use her as bait, you can kind of, you know, get this dive to go where you want them to go, which is not the way the dive style should work.
That's true. Well, it looks like the DPS are really looking to try to grab a Nat early. They're both moving their way in, looking to see if they can take down Nat effectively, but the heals are coming in. Flame gonna take down Kazime, not looking for, not getting the value that they're looking for. Oh, but while we're distracted with the back line, we have the front line moving their way onto the high ground, but with already one hero down, they're gonna have a hard time trying to move into this. The damage trying to come in, but they're just gonna kind of sit quietly on the objective while they wait for Kazime to get back in the fight.
Yeah, that's a really good rotation, taking up space, taking up value, even when they're not fighting.
Coalescence coming in there from Michael G, looking to see if it can grab some value. Bolt Bomb ends up grabbing the bongos and the immortality, but Tiger Lily will take down Mateus. The rest coming in from Kel, looking to see if they can get the value they're looking for. Anti-nade, though, coming in from Doggy-O, but it will not be enough. The picks are now coming in for Lotus. They are cleaning it up. They do not want to take this without that 3-1 as the picks continue to flood their way in. Okemi trying to run away, but Mateus will touch EMP. Now coming out from Flame, but with no one to clean it up, it's going to be so hard for them to hold on to this, and that is going to be the tick away, with Lotus taking our finals match 3-1 here on Volskaya Industry.
Yeah, man, they definitely, Moose made Lotus sweat a little bit. I'm sure the people that were dead were like, whoa, are we winning? Is it winnable? What are these picks? But, yeah, it was just a really strong, you know, second, third, and fourth map, coming from Lotus. They got rolled on Busan. It looked like they were getting rolled on King's Row defense. I don't know what it was comms-wise or comp-wise. I think getting the stability of the Baptiste on the heels was really, really big for them, and the confidence and stability out of it. But ever since that swap in that first May Blizzard on the King's Row defense, they just put their foot on the gas and played a really strong back two-thirds of that match.
That is absolutely true right there. So go ahead, start popping off in the chat who you all want to see as your player of the match tonight. I feel like, as we talked about earlier, I've got to give it to Michael G, because as you just stated, with Michael swapping over to that Batiste, provided an immense amount of healing, lots of protection, was constantly giving Uni the amplification matrix, especially on King's Row, just using that amp matrix popping it in front of Uni and letting Uni just click heads over and over again. So Michael G, you're walking away with my player of the match tonight.
Yeah, I saw a great moment on that King's Row where Flame Okami was teleporting on the Reaper up to the high ground, try to take some space. And the second he was there was a window and a one-shot headshot onto the Reaper from Uni. It was beautiful. It stopped the push right away. It was great play, good teamwork from Michael G and Uni. Overall from Lotus, Moose gave him one hell of a match. I mean, they look so strong at the beginning. The coordination, the comms, the strats were looking so clean. But yeah, Michael G, my player of the match. I think it's unanimous there. Just really turned around with his Baptiste, especially on Rialto. He looked unstoppable there.
Alrighty, folks. Well, we're gonna go ahead and close it out for tonight. We do have one remaining finals match this week, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna check our schedule real quick to make sure that we haven't had any updates for this week. It looks like we will have the deadlock finals coming in on Monday. And I haven't heard anything about the Talon finals, which I think is just an exhibition match of our highest teams. So we will hopefully get some information about that for you. But if you don't, if you're not worried about that, just hit the heart, punch the bell, so you get notified, and then you don't have to worry about the schedule, because then your app on your phone or your computer will just let you know, hey, OCCS is back. You should tune in. Make sure to do that. You could also hit that sub button. $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some amazing emotes, as well as support our incredible community. Want to give a special shout out to Cybercat for running our production this evening. We really appreciate it. This has been the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. I am Captain Jack.
And this is Crispin. Wow, thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Have a good night.